continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.
Welcome back, casual collectors. I'm Steel Wolf.
And Spatter Kid.
And today we're bringing you a review of the Page Punchers Batman from McFarlane Toys and DC Direct.
Okay, so we picked him up at Target.com for a price of $24.99. And he is a Target exclusive. However, he's still available on Target.com. You can get him at Walmart for the same price, but just know it is coming from a third-party retail. Okay, now for box detail. If you look at the front, you can see the DC Essentials logo and the McFarlane logo right there in the corner. With also a sticker on it showing that there is an exclusive comic book for this figure. Now, I have no idea if it's just specifically that comic for the specific figure, or if it's exclusive to Page Punchers itself. Now on the side, you can actually see the same logo up there, the window showing the figure, and the bottom Page Punchers. Now for the back, we see a nice pretty cool picture of the figure itself, looking awesome as hell. Also the comic that you get also. In the bottom again, Page Punchers, and the two logos up there. Now if we go to the side, we can see a Batman Black Adam comic, and again Page Punchers right there. Now for the top, a nice little window right there showing the figure, and for the bottom, a bunch of Lego stuff. Now, I don't know if anyone who noticed this, but it reminds me a lot of the DC Essentials / collectible boxes. Going over with the nice black and white, but also a little mix of red also. It just gives me that little feel of it though. Alright, with all that said, let's get the Dark Knight out of his package.
Alright, and here's Page Puncher Batman out of the package, and I gotta say, he is looking pretty sweet. Alright, so before we get a closer look at the figure, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the accessories. Alright, and here we have everything that comes with Batman out of the package. And right away, it's not a lot of accessories, but you do get a lot of bang for your buck here. So right away, let's go ahead and start with this card here. And as always, per McFarlane, you know, in his DC Multiverse line, you always get a cool collector card, which again, I think it's absolutely freaking awesome. And let's take a closer look here. And it's basically the comic cover, but in card form. But it still looks amazing. And let's take a look at the back here. We see Page Punchers, we see Batman there, and there's a little bio of Batman here, so that's pretty neat. All right, let's take a look here at our standard issue McFarlane base. Gotta say, I do like the fact that they always include one of these stands. And let's take a look at the only accessory that actually comes with Batman, and that is a gray Batarang. Nothing too crazy, we got some sculpt in there. And last but not least, we have the comic itself. Full-blown comic here. Pretty cool. And it looks like it's based off the first set of characters that he released for the Page Punchers, which we have Black Adam there, Constantine on the left here, Superman, and obviously Batman. And I believe that he's done the variants of Black Adam just the way he did the variant of the Superman, so in that black and white comic look.
I don't think they ever did Superman in that black and white.
No, I don't think so either, but
Batman and Black Adam.
yeah, I did see the Black Adam though. I know I saw that one in the store. So we won't show you all the pages of this book here, but here's just one random page here opened. And right away, it looks great. Yep, there you go. Cool. So very cool that for 20 bucks we get a figure, an accessory, a stand, a card, and a comic book. That's awesome.
Now, what would be good is that if every figure actually came with a comic book instead of just one specific line.
Yeah, it's too bad that this Page Punchers just didn't, you know, evolve into the DC multiverse. I think that would have been pretty cool because I believe they're the same scale. It would have been neat that it was just one line and not two different lines, but whatever. It is what it is. They both look good together. I mean, if you put a Page Puncher next to a DC multiverse figure, they pretty much look the same and they scale the same. So either way, it works out. All right, with the accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the details on this figure. So right away, let's start with the head. And pretty cool. This whole paint scheme is throughout the figure, and it kind of gives it that classic cel-shaded or, you know, pencil shaded look of the comic books. You know, it looks very cool. This side of the face here, it's all black with some white contrast to this white over here on this side. Looks very cool.
The whole shading kind of reminds me of a Batman Beyond kind of like figure, or even like the newer animated Spider-Man shading.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks cool. So we still do get some sculpt here, and we can see some sculpting there on the face mask here. Sculpting on the lines, the eyebrows, the mouth looks pretty cool. Some plating on the head, that looks awesome. Down to the neck area here, we have some more sculpting there on the neck. Definitely looks like he's wearing armor, so that's always a cool touch when they can do that. And the Batman emblem here, it's actually sculpted, so it's not painted, it's sculpted, so that's pretty cool. Chest pieces here too, they look like armor. They got those little seams right here, so that's pretty cool. Looks like stitching, that's freaking awesome. These definitely look like plates instead of just, you know, a costume or like spandex, so that's awesome. We got these cool looking shoulder pads, some more of those seams there on the side, the stitching, that looks cool. And you can see right here, that looks like this part here where it stretches almost, like he has to pull it to, you know, secure it, so that looks pretty cool, like it's string or something, but cool little touch. Down on the gauntlets right here, we got the standard 3 little dagger shaped things here. Very cool. We got some more sculpting there on the wrist. He has trigger fingers for some strange reason, but we can make it work. Down to the belt looks hella cool. We got that cool logo right there. That looks awesome. All these cool little pouches and pockets, it looks awesome. Down at the back crotch there, looks like he has a zipper with some more seams and stitching. That looks cool. Some wrinkles there on the shorts. Down to the front of the thighs. They got all these individual things that look like they look like kind of like leather plating or leather armor. That looks freaking awesome. And underneath, looks like it's layered. Got some knee pads down to the boots here. These look good. Got all these little buckles right here. That looks awesome. More stitching and seams. That looks awesome. A lot of cool little details, and especially for being a figure that's just in two-tone color, pretty cool. And as we can see, the back here, it's all white, but nonetheless, it's still got a bunch of cool little details back here. Looks like a zipper right there too. That's freaking neat.
And then I love when the detail McFarlane don't put into his figures.
All these cool pouches, that looks cool. Got these D-rings, that looks awesome. Looks kind of like a smoke grenade on that side. That's freaking awesome. There's the back of the gauntlets, where it looks like they strap onto his wrists. There's the bat butt. Very cool. And I love this part here because that definitely looks like kind of like a stretchy nylon part of, like, you know, armor or something like that. So that's freaking cool. Very neat. Here's the back of the boots. Awesome. And here's the bottom of the boots, but you got some tread. And that's what I call tread. Holy crap. Look at that. That is awesome. And then we got these cool little bat logo treads. That is pretty neat. There, let's turn it around this way here. Yeah, that's pretty neat. And we do have peg holes. Very cool. And let's take a look at the cape here in the back. And again, this is your typical McFarlane, you know, soft plastic cape. There's nothing wrong with this, at least visually. It looks awesome. It's just I feel that sometimes it makes the figure a lot more heavier, and they become a little bit more difficult to stand on their own because of the weight of the cape. So I'm just waiting for McFarlane to make these into cloth capes, but I mean, it still looks cool. I mean, you can't go wrong with this sculpt on this cape. It's freaking awesome. There's the back side of the cape there. All right, let's go ahead and get into some articulation here with Batman. So let's go ahead and start with the head. He can tilt to the left and to the right. He can actually turn left, he can turn right, and he can spin a complete 360. And he can look up about that much. And he can look down that much. And he might have a pile driver motion here. Let's take a look. Very, very subtle. It's there, but it's subtle. Let's go down to the arms. His arms can extend out. Yeah! All right, so the arm can go up about that much, and it's basically because it's hindered due to the cape itself right here and this shoulder pad. You can come up a little more, but the more that you push it, you're gonna cause this arm to pop off, which has already happened to us twice. But when you push it back down, it goes down about that far. So as you can see, that's literally the gist of the movement, which is just about right there. That's as far as it's gonna go. He does have a bicep swivel, as you can see, and he does have double jointed elbows that do go in about that far in. And he can almost pretty much touch his shoulders, so that's really good. His arm can do a complete 360. It can definitely go around, as you can see. He's got to maneuver the shoulder pad and the cape, but it can do a complete 360. And as for the hands here, they can swivel, as you can see, and they are on hinges. Hinge forward and hinge back. There is no forearm swivel. Same thing for the other side. The arm can go. And the same thing for this side as well. So arm can go out about that much, and it can go a complete 360, as you can see there. And he does have those double jointed elbows, which work very well. Goes in pretty far. And the other hand also is on a hinge, as you can see, and it does swivel as well. Down to the chest area, he can do an ab crunch forward, not at all, but he can come back about that far back. As for the waist, he can swivel on the waist area, and he can tilt just a little bit, as you can see, down to the legs here. He doesn't have that drop down leg thing that some of the G.I. Joe classifieds have, and he doesn't have an upper thigh cut, but he can kick out about that much, and he can kick back about that much. His bat butt gets in the way of the back of the thigh. Down to the knees, he does have double jointed knees, as you can see here, which go into about that much. Going further down, he does not have a boot cut, but he does have ankle pivot, as you can see, and he does have toe articulation, as you can see there. Now the foot will go up or kick up to about that much, and it will kick down about that much. And he can do the splits about that much. And that's going to do it for articulation on Batman.
Alright, and this Page Puncher Batman comes in a little bit above the 7-inch mark. And we're basically taking it up to the tip of the ears there, but just a little bit above the 7-inch mark. Alright, and for figure comparisons, here we have the Page Puncher on the left with the McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman from the Batman. Alright, and here on the left we have the McFarlane Page Puncher Batman next to the McFarlane DC Multiverse Ultraman. And for other comparisons with other toy lines, we have that Page Puncher Batman next to the Mafex Logan. And on the right there, we have the SH Figure Arts Son Goku. And for another comparison with other toy lines, here on the left, we have the Marvel Legends Silver Surfer. And also on the right there, we have the G.I. Joe Classified Battle Android Trooper next to the McFarlane Page Puncher Batman. And for a final comparison with other toy lines, here we have the Page Puncher Batman next to the Star Wars Black Series, The Mandalorian. Alright, so final thoughts on this figure. Cool figure, definitely a cool figure. Articulation's a little stiff, especially with those arms. I didn't like the way that they couldn't really extend farther up and they kept popping off the socket there. So didn't like that, but I gotta say the detail on the guy and the sculpt, pretty freaking awesome. Love the double elbows, the double knees. He can kick out pretty far. He still feels a little stiff though in the upper body. The fact that we only get a Batarang, kind of disappointing, but all in all though, he's not a bad figure. It's just, this isn't my cup of tea necessarily. Like, I would not have picked this version in comparisons to the regular version. This one, Spider Kid picked out for himself. He liked this one a lot. But for some reason, this one just doesn't catch my eye. I think if I were to get a version like this, I would rather get it in a statue form. Kind of like how what McFarlane did for the Batman. He released a variant statue, which was a red and black one.
It was
I think
to represent the poster, I think.
For the movie, yeah. And I think I would have rather have gotten that as a statue rather than a figure. But that's just me. So he definitely lost points for me personally, just because I wouldn't pick this color scheme. But everything else was pretty on point, especially the sculpt. I do got to say that I love the fact that we get a comic book. I mean, what the hell? A comic book? That's freaking awesome. Aside from us normally getting cards from McFarlane, now we're getting comic books. Man, this guy just keeps on one-upping Hasbro, if you ask me. I mean, he's just dancing circles around them. I mean, especially with that recent news about the Flash movie Batmobile for $60. Man.
And the plane.
Yeah, well, the plane's a little more expensive. It's at $250, I believe, but it's huge. In comparisons to Hasbro's Engine of Vengeance, yeah. I think McFarlane's knocking it out of the park. So kudos to him for that. So definitely pretty cool.
I agree. I think it's a pretty cool figure. I picked it out because I like the whole comic look to it. And again, it's like the comic book overall with it was pretty good. I was reading it as we were recording. It's a pretty good comic. Now, I'm not sure what order it's in. I'm just assuming that since this was the first figure to come out, the comic that came with it might be the first one. I'm just assuming it. But again, though, the comic was good. I like it, along with the figure also. It does suck, though, how you only get one accessory with it. But I mean, overall, though, it's pretty good. I mean, the only complaint I really have about it is just, again, with you don't really have a lot of movement with it. It's only just the legs for me that work pretty good. It sucks though how you can't move the arms really up that much because again, like, it'll just pop off. But overall, it's a pretty good figure.
All right, folks, it's that time again for our rating. And as always, you can see that rating there on the left. And I'm going to have to give this guy a rating of...
Alright, so my rating is going to be...
And that's going to do it for our review on the McFarlane Page Puncher Batman. I'm Steel Wolf.
Inspire Kid.
Continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.